welcome to A Novel Console, your weekly podcast where we talk about books, games, food, and stuff that caught our attention during the week. My name is Chris, and with me is my beautiful co-host and wife, Karradyne.
Hello.
That was very low.
I'm sorry.
You're not sick. Stop coughing.
I am sick.
Stop acting.
I have been sick for days.
Sure.
What?
We have a guest.
We do.
We do. Who's our guest?
Hopefully someone who's not sick.
Hopefully someone who's not sick. Who is our guest?
Our guest is Kiko.
Who's Kiko?
Kiko is Mariella's boyfriend.
Who's
Because
Mariella's-
people don't know that.
Who's Mariella's boyfriend?
Wait, what?
Wait, who's Mariella?
A former guest. A former two-time guest.
It's
Two times?
one time.
Oh, I thought it was two times.
No, one time.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
Kiko, how are you? Say something.
I'm good. Thank you for inviting me to your podcast. Exciting to be here.
You're welcome. Good. We're going to talk KOTOR, right?
KOTOR 2 or, KOTOR in general, I guess. Yeah.
KOTOR 2, yep. So let's do the intro before we get into questions. The first one, if this is your first time, 143rd time coming into the show, welcome. We're glad you're joining us for an episode of A Novel Console. We hope you stick around, have some laughs, and maybe find some new things to enjoy. If you want to reach out to us, you can do it on our socials, which is basically at A Novel Console on every platform, or you can email us directly at anovelconsole@gmail.com, or if you would like to support us, you could do it at patreon.com/novelconsole.
Please tell your friends about the show and leave us a review wherever you can because reviews help us be more discoverable. We also have a Discord if you would like to join. Go to our Twitter and look for the pinned tweet or send us an email saying, hey, bitch, I want to join your Discord.
Yes, just like that.
Yep.
Kiko, I got questions for you. First one, what's your favorite book?
I'm not an avid reader, so
That's okay. You can still have a favorite book and not be an avid reader.
Comic books and manga count.
Yes.
well, I haven't read much manga. I'm currently reading One Piece, which is never ending. And Bleach, I read Bleach and Naruto. That's basically the mangas that I read, the big three. But books,
Really, that's it.
yeah, I don't read a lot of manga. And comics are like, it depends. I read the Red Lanterns because I love the Red Lanterns, and Justice League Dark because it's just not the Justice League. I like the magic part of it, like side of it. It's really cool. But books, the only series of books that I read is Harry Potter.
Ah! Ah!
Why are you making that noise?
The only one! Ah! There's so much better out there. So much
Oh,
better.
I bet. Like I'm 100% sure that there are better books out there. I'm just never created the habit of sitting down and read a book.
That's okay.
Reading is for nerds. We were too busy playing video games and getting drunk to read books.
I would argue that playing video games is more nerdy than reading.
Kiko, tiebreaker?
No. Reading is for nerds. We've spent our time playing video games and drinking, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't. No books for us. We're too cool for books.
Apparently so. I guess I wasn't cool since I wasn't reading and drinking because that makes reading a little bit
Reading and
difficult
drinking. No,
after a little while.
Reading and drinking makes you an alcoholic.
Yeah. And oftentimes a cat lady.
A
which
cat
I'm
lady.
not.
Or
A dog lady. A
whatever
one
the-
dog lady.
whatever the hell Luna is, lady.
How's Luna? How's
okay.
Luna doing?
She's fine. She tried to say hello to you earlier, but you were trying to figure out your microphone situation and you ignored her.
I'm sorry, Luna.
Oh.
She's heartbroken.
Has her fur
It's right.
grown
She
back?
doesn't have the what?
The fur? Did it grow back?
Oh,
Hey, Luna!
a little bit, little bit.
She's so
Say hi,
cute.
Kiko. Say
She's
thank
so
you.
cute.
Say I miss you.
She's so angry. She's fucking furious. Okay, so since you don't read books, what are your favorite games? What's your favorite game of all time?
Oof. It's so hard, man. Like you can't pick. Like at one point it used to be Kingdom Hearts, and now I fucking hate it.
Three was really bad.
Oh,
Three
it was
killed it for a
awful.
lot of people.
It just ruined the whole franchise for me, like the whole experience. I would say
So bad.
I would die on the hill that Kingdom Hearts 2 is the best of all of them.
Yeah, yeah. Kingdom
Um,
Hearts 2 is the best one.
but I would say now like Souls games are my jam, man. Like
Dark,
I love Dark Souls. I love Elden Ring. Like that kind of game is just so so good for me. I just love them.
uh, the first time I heard from Dark Souls was from Jay. I think some other game came out. I'm not sure if it was Dead Space or Prince of Persia or something that came out on the same day. And I was like GameStop, and I called him. He's like, "Oh, you're at GameStop? Then I'm gonna go because I want to pick up Dark Souls." I'm like, "Okay." And he got there and he bought Dark Souls, and he's just talking about how great this game is. Like, I've never
You
heard of
sure it
this
wasn't
shit.
Call of Duty?
The what?
Call of Duty. I think it was Call of Duty and Dark Souls released at the same time.
Could have been. It
Because
was it.
I remember Edwin was there too, and that's where basically when we all met. Like Edwin, Jay, they all
Yeah.
met Edwin at that night, and they bonded upon Dark Souls. So I never played Dark Souls before. So
Praise the sun.
praise the sun, yeah.
Every time you say Dark Souls, that's what
That's
she
all I
does.
know. Praise the sun.
She's like, I want you to play Elden Ring, and there's an eyeball, and she's like, I'm out. I don't want to see Elden Ring. So Dark Souls is your favorite game of all time? Like if you would have to play a game until the day you die and you can only play that one game, what would it be?
Any Dark Souls game, for sure.
All right, that's fine. Okay, favorite food of all time.
Um, burritos.
Burritos.
Yes.
What,
I'm in a constant journey of finding the best burrito. Everywhere I go, everywhere that has a burrito, I will order a burrito and I will judge that burrito.
that is that is a noble journey
That's a never-ending journey.
because not everybody knows how to make a good burrito.
Exactly.
Like Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Like
No.
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell
I
is
was gonna- I was-
it's a guilty pleasure.
I was gonna tell you to go to Taco Bell and have the enchilada burrito, but then I had it. I was like, I'm not doing this to Kiko. That shit.
It
was
also looked like it
disgusting.
was made for a baby
So
because
you know,
it was so tiny.
Taco
Yeah.
Maker, how they have the burrito with the enchilada sauce and the melted cheese.
Yeah.
They try to do that, but it's terrible. It's so fucking bad.
No.
It's garbage.
I feel like Taco Bell has come to these trend of doing everything smaller with barely any filling, and it's so expensive now that
Yes.
I have to be like deeply craving Taco Bell in order for me to eat from there because it's just ridiculous.
Exactly. I mean, the two of us, it was almost $35
For Taco Bell.
two people at Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Like, we can go down the road and get a legit Mexican restaurant for that much. Like, nope.
And like the thing is, Taco Bell also has like 7 ingredients, and they do like 40 different things with those 7 ingredients.
Yeah.
Like anything you order is going to be exactly the same thing as the other thing you didn't order.
Yes.
Tortilla, meat, lettuce, tomato, sour cream.
Yes.
That's it.
Potatoes.
It's so fucking bad.
Sometimes.
It's trash. So, favorite burrito so far? What's the best burrito you've had yet?
It's one burrito here in East Boston, from a place called Cactus Grill. There hasn't been any other burrito here that is that good.
You're going to take us there when we come visit you, right?
Absolutely. I have a
Okay.
whole
What's in the
I have a whole food tour for you guys.
That sounds
Yeah,
awesome.
what makes this burrito so special?
I don't know, it's authentic. Like it's so you go to this place, it's like it's in a corner. It's really small, it's not a restaurant. It's like you order it, they serve it right away, like in front of you, and you just take it to go. Well, you can sit down. There's a couple tables over there. But everything's made. It's made well. Like everything's well seasoned. There's one thing I don't like in burritos that here in the United States everybody does. It's like put rice on it. And
It is very weird.
and
It is weird.
they just pack the burrito with rice, and Everything else is it's a less amount. So I'm like, no rice, please. And then it's better because I have more cheese, more meat, more guacamole, sour cream, hot sauce, a lot of jalapenos, pico de gallo, all that stuff, and all together in a tortilla. It's just delicious.
That sounds pretty good. I could go for some burritos, even though we just had tacos.
Yeah, but like a burrito made by somebody else is always, especially if it's smothered in cheese. Oh man.
You know what's fucked up? That everybody's like, oh, Chipotle burritos and Chipotle burritos and Moe's burritos, and you think they're gonna be great, and you have them, and they're just not.
They're very disappointing.
Like
They're
I think
huge.
chains have ruined burritos for me,
Yes.
and I'm not excited about burritos.
I'm sorry.
They don't
for
make
you,
them
man.
flavorful enough.
That's sad.
Yeah, man.
You know who makes
a
a good burrito that you haven't had? I don't think.
Who?
Vicky's. You need to
Vicky's?
have that burrito that I had at Vicky's with the chorizo. Oh my god!
Vicky's has amazing tacos. What was the one that I loved? The one that had like all the meats in it.
I don't remember.
So it's this place here in Georgia, and they have this taco called taco de tinga, and it's like all of the leftovers from all the other orders. They put it in a taco. So, like you'll get pastol, chorizo, chicken, barbacoa, whatever, just put into a taco, and it is so fucking good.
that
sounds
place
delicious.
is amazing. Hole in the wall. You'd never know it was there if you weren't like local.
It's so
That's-
good.
Oh, it's so
That's
good.
where you find the best food. Holes in the wall. Always. They always have the best food.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
That's always. That's where you're gonna find the best foods in the holes in the walls.
Yep. 100%.
It's true. Hey, if you hear me asking Kiko what he said again, is that his audio is not being picked up on our side, but I'm sure you can hear his recording, so it's cool. So you can hear his lovely voice twice. Okay, so burritos are good. Do we want to do a quick read in place? Since we haven't done one
Sure.
in over a month.
Sure.
Karradyne, what are you reading?
I'm reading several things. Oh God, let me go through my list. I'm reading The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King, which is the sequel to The Serpent and the Wings of Night. If you haven't read that and you like vampires and you like The Hunger Games and you like sex, you should read it. If you like stabby stab Batwing men, so like ACOTAR type stuff, you should read it. Let's see. I'm also reading The Museum of Ordinary People, which I don't know if I really like yet. I'm still reading The Quarantine Princess Diaries because shoot me in the face. I am reading For the Throne, which is the sequel to For the Wolf, which I may have talked about on here. It's like a
Doesn't
retelling of Beauty and the Beast, Red Riding Hood, Snow White. I am still reading Hellbent. I'm almost done with Hellbent. It's not as good as Ninth House. I'm sad, but it's not bad. It's just not as good. I'm still reading The History of the Hobbit.
The History of the Hobbit?
Yeah, I've been reading it since March. Oh God. I am also reading Legends and Lattes, which I think I may have also been reading since March, and it's only like 200 pages long. And
Maria, I love that book.
I'm reading what?
Maria, I love that book.
I know, and I think I'm finally getting to the point where I'm really liking it too. It just I was in a slump for a while, and
Didn't
it just
you
wasn't
guys
doing it for me.
Talk about that book when we met in Savannah.
We did, because I
think so.
said I don't really know if I like it. But last night I think I got to a point where I do, and it's gay, so I love that. And then I'm reading the graphic novel adaptation of a book that I read when I was like a freshman in college, and I was obsessed with it, and I thought it was one of the best books ever. I own it. I bought the sequel. I never read the sequel. Now I'm reading the graphic novel, and I'm like, I don't think I would like this book if I reread it now. So guess what? It's going to go to Orlando with us whenever we go back to go to Bright Light Books. Get me some money to buy some books that I do actually like. Yay.
We're going to go back with so many books.
Yeah, I've already got 2 bags started.
That's a whole lot of fucking books.
Yeah, it is.
All right, Kiko, what have you been playing since you don't read?
You make it sound like such a bad thing.
For the past month, I haven't been playing a lot. I've been, we met in Savannah, and after that, my mother-in-law came in, then my friends came in, stayed over. We went to the Blink concert. That was awesome.
Yeah.
So in between, I was playing Dead Island 2, and I started Star Wars Survivors, but I haven't gone too far.
Okay. Let's go into Dead Island first. What are you thinking about it? What do you think? Do you like it? Is it good? Is it fun? Is it bad?
I like it. I'm enjoying it. This is what I was expecting from this game. If you take this game seriously, you're just gonna be disappointed. It's a game.
Is this the game that Alex was talking about at dinner the other night?
What?
That Alex was talking about?
Which one?
Dead Island?
I don't know.
What happens on Dead Island? What's the premise of this game?
California is overrun by zombies and you have to survive and find a cure
Do
or
you
whatever.
race cars?
No.
No, I don't know what he was talking about then. Never mind.
No,
Ignore
he
me.
was talking about
Shutting up.
Death Race. He was talking
Death
about
Race,
a
not Dead
movie.
Island. Okay, never mind. Death, dead. I don't know.
But yeah,
Okay, tell me about Dead Island.
so far I'm enjoying it. I play with Jay and Julian sometimes. The one thing that we've been talking about that it's felt kind of short was the weapons option, like the customization of the weapons. They all look the same. Like
Yeah, they're all kind of the same.
yeah, there's not much going on with that. It's not like we wanted more like a Dead Rising kind of thing. Those crazy weapons. You remember that?
Yeah.
But
Or you could combine like the boat paddles with chainsaw, and then
Yeah.
you would have like virtually like the Darth Maul double blade, but it's a boat paddle with two chainsaws
Oh
attached
my
at the end.
gosh, I can't.
you were running through the hordes, like paddling through them.
And then you can do the same with a motorcycle, and you would attach two chainsaws on the side of a motorcycle, and you would drive it through the zombies.
I can't.
Dialogue, it's very corny, or I don't know. It's just got to the chase. There's not much, not very. There's no depth in the dialogues or anything. But I'm enjoying it. I really like it.
Yeah, I went through it. I had a good time. Towards the end, I was like, I'm ready for this to end. But it was mostly because Jedi Survivor had just come out, and I wanted to play that instead. But I wanted to finish Dead Island, and it was still fun. Like the final mission, just you haven't beaten it yet.
No, not yet.
No.
I'm in.
So
let me see. I am when Dr. Reed abandons Ocean Avenue, like the hotel. He leaves in the helicopter.
Right. So you're close to finishing the game. You don't have long left.
Yeah. There's like four more main missions or something.
So I'm not gonna tell you who the bad guy is. I'm not gonna tell you the ending or anything. Just know that the last boss fight is like any other boss fight you've run into before.
Yeah, okay.
Nothing special. Just attack and kill it, and that's it. It's super easy. Like I didn't even put any effort. I just pulled out a gun and killed the last boss.
There's not a lot. There's not a lot. There's no variety when coming to battle, like combat wise. So you either swing your weapons around, or you're just shooting, or you just go into fury mode and beat everybody. That's it.
Actually, I did use fury mode. Yeah, I used fury mode instead of. I finished them with a gun, but I used fury mode to get the whole health down, and then I finished them with a gun because it's so easy.
Yeah.
But apparently DLC is coming out, so I might look into that when it comes out. I'm not 100% sure. So Jedi Survivor is the other one.
Yeah, but
What
I
do you
haven't gotten too far in it. So I love it because Star Wars, and I love the first game. Combat feels great, to be honest. But I just beat in the first part. I just got out the first part, got into the new planet, and that's it. That's where I'm at. Like I haven't played a lot.
Okay. All right. So I think that Jedi Survivor is the best Star Wars game we've ever gotten.
Whoa. For me, it's KOTOR.
I think it's much better than KOTOR, and I like
The different
Fallen
games too.
Order. Oh no, definitely they're way different games. If the KOTOR remake comes out, then maybe the KOTOR remake will become my first favorite one.
Apparently, it just went back into production, so fingers crossed that they actually finish it.
Hopefully, hopefully. But like I like Fallen Order, but I didn't like Cal Kestis. I felt like he was too bland. Like he was like very cookie cutter, good boy, nothing dangerous about him. And then in Jedi Survivor, he's a fucking terrorist. And I'm like, okay, that's fucking cool. Let's go. Like the beginning
He's a
is
rebel.
you fucking
Yeah.
blowing something up.
I mean, the first one, he was discovering himself. You could say that. I mean, right?
Yeah, I guess you could say that, but like there's a big difference between I don't want anybody to look at me to I'm working with Saw Gerrera, let's kill every Imperial in
Saw
the
Gerrera.
galaxy. Fucking crazy. It's so good. It's so good. And like the thing is you keep all the powers from the first game and then you get new powers from him remembering conversations or interactions with people or some of his old teachings. So they don't take anything away from you. They just build upon everything that you have from the last game.
That's great.
It's so good.
You know, that's great because that's I start thinking about like sequels and how like Horizon, for example, you progress with this character a lot. You gained all these abilities, and then when you go to the sequels, like how do you manage that? How do you transition going to having all these skills and abilities to going back to zero? And the fact that they actually found a way for you to regain this skills, it's really cool.
Yeah. I Metroid has that problem a lot where you start a new Metroid game and you have all of your abilities and then something happens right at the beginning where you lose everything. Like I think in Prime you get blown up and you lose all your abilities. In Fusion you get a virus and you lose all your abilities. In I think in Super you get blown up too and you lose all your abilities. like the only game that does it right is Castlevania, but it's because it's a different person each fucking game. It's
So,
not
but
the
that
same
that
dude.
makes sense exactly. It's a different person, so you gotta
Yeah,
learn new stuff.
yeah, yeah. I have been playing Jedi Survivor. I've enjoyed it. It's fun. I think it's the best Star Wars game ever. I can't wait to finish it. I can't wait to finish the Skull so I can go play. The other thing I've been playing is Tears of the Kingdom. I hate this game.
I've seen so many videos, man. So many.
People are like the shit you sent me yesterday. Like the fucking dude
TIE
that created a
TIE
TIE
fighter.
A TIE fighter. They created a TIE fighter in Zelda.
Are you serious?
Yes, they created a fucking TIE fighter and were able to fly it. I'm serious. I gotta show you the video.
Oh my god.
Like people are so fucking sweaty creating shit in this game. It's insane. Like building giant death lasers to fucking kill like a couple of macablins or whatever the fuck they're called,
Or building this huge machinery and cheese a boss.
right? And
I mean,
like,
it's amazing. Like I like it. Like it looks amazing, and the fact that people are so creative with all these stuff. Like I don't know. I personally I'm not gonna play the game, but I want to see Mariella play it to see what she could come up with.
see, I came up with a cart. I came up with a platform with two fans that I could fly through the air, and that's it. I this is the building part of the game is it's not for me. I don't want to fucking build anything. I just want to go on an adventure.
I get you, man. I'm the same way. Anything that requires me to create something from zero, from nothing, I'm like, nah, this is too stressful. I don't want to deal with this.
So there's an NPC in the game that's holding up a sign from his work, and you have to find a solution to hold the sign in place so that then he can fasten it, and then he gives you rewards for holding it in place. Every single time you run into one of those, there's like a bunch of building materials next to him that you can use to hold up the sign. And the first time I saw it, I was like, this is fucking stupid. I'm not doing this. The second time, I'm like, oh, that looks easy to solve. And now every time I see one, I stop and fucking hold the sign so that he can fix it. And I'm like, why the fuck am I doing this? I don't care about this shit. I just want to keep playing Zelda. It does such a good job of holding your attention to these stupid little tasks that take a couple of minutes, and then you're on your way. And I'm like, why am I wasting my time with this game? And like, it's just one of those games where you're like, I'm going to play a little bit more. And then you do what you're going to do. And then I'm going to play a little bit more. And then you don't stop.
Yeah, because you find something else to do along the way. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And like, now you have the Koroks, right? And the way that you get some of the Korok seeds, if it's not challenges with the bow, it's like grabbing the Korok and taking it to somebody else so that they can be together or whatever. And I ran into one where he's like on one side of the river and his friend is on the other side. And I look at him and I'm like, I'm not doing this fucking shit. I don't want to build. I don't want to get them together. I don't want to do anything. And now every time I see a Korok, I help him. It's...
Can't help it.
Game is awful.
Yeah.
It's fucking terrible. I hate this game so much.
Do you, though?
Karradyne. I don't. It's so fucking annoying. Karradyne,
Yes.
are you ready for KOTOR?
I am ready. As ready as I'm going to be.
Are you sure?
I think so.
You remember last year's KOTOR conversation?
Vaguely.
What was it?
Vaguely.
Vaguely?
Yeah.
That's all it was?
Yeah.
What did I say about the first KOTOR?
Vague.
That's not what I said.
You loved
You
it.
loved it.
Yes, and what else?
It was great.
Okay, whatever. Let's go into discussion time. All right, so this week's games is Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2, The Sith Lords. This is a role-playing game developed by Obsidian Entertainment and published by LucasArts. It is the sequel to BioWare's Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic and was released for the Xbox on December 6, 2004. The rest is just fucking computer stuff. I played it on Switch. What have you played this on, Kiko?
Xbox, actually.
Xbox?
Yeah, when it came out.
Really?
Yes.
Damn. I don't think I would have had the mental capacity back then to put into this game.
I love this game, man. Like, I mean, the
I
KOTOR series, I love them. Like, both of them, I love them. I love both games.
I really, really liked the first one, and I think I just found out why I didn't like this one as much. It was done by Obsidian instead of BioWare.
But the game is very similar to the first one. What happened in this one, I was actually just found out about this. LucasArts gave Obsidian a deadline, and Obsidian had to cut a bunch of content from this game in order to meet that deadline. So there was a lot of the game we never got to see. And actually, there's a mod with the extra content on PC, which I just found out about this because I wanted to refresh my memory.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's I can see why now you didn't like it.
So there are a couple of reasons why I didn't like it.
You didn't like it at all?
Oh, no,
or
I didn't.
You liked it, but there were parts of it you didn't like?
Yes.
Okay.
So I liked some of it. I liked most of it.
Okay.
I disliked some of it too.
Okay.
The first thing that I hated was that there's two parts in the game. Somewhere in the middle and one at the end where it's just you. Just the Jedi character. That's it. You don't have any party members or anything, and they make you fight through a bunch of enemies to get to some boss. And I feel like a lot of the charm of the game, which is the party members and fighting with them and I don't know, taking all these groups of enemies and coming out on top, was lost because of that. Because I really liked having my team of 3, having a shooter, having 2 melee characters, just taking on a bunch of enemies.
For me, I mean, I'm pretty sure you're talking about the last part, right? Where you're gonna fight Darth Freya. When you're in
where you're going through the entire planet.
Yeah. So that part I love that part because I'm by myself and I'm a powerful Jedi. I'm just walking around electrocuting everyone. Using Force Lightning, Drain Life. It's like, fuck you all. I'm here for business.
He's a Sith. Kiko's an evil person. He's a bad
Oh
guy.
my goodness. I can't.
See, I played a Jedi. I played a good guy, and I always play melee focused, so I don't put a lot of force points into force. I don't know. Maybe using the force powers might have been a better option, but I really, really like swinging a lightsaber.
Fair, that's fair. I mean, there's a lot of like techniques with lightsabers too, like throwing it to the enemies and everything.
Which I didn't get that ability. There's a bunch of abilities that I didn't get actually. I didn't rush through this game because I did everything that the game let me do, like all the side quests and everything. I did, but I feel like I missed out a lot because I don't know. Like I feel like the game wasn't paced out right because I got the apprentice like right before the final world, so I wasn't able to do anything with the apprentice.
The disciple? Which one? Are you talking about the disciple, the Jedi disciple?
The disciple, the Jedi disciple, yeah.
So you were a
Yeah.
female character.
Yes.
So
He's
that's
always a female character.
yeah.
Yes.
I remember. So that's why you didn't get the handmaiden.
Yes, that's why I didn't get the handmaiden. So we asked Discord.
You asked Discord.
I asked Discord for them to tell me what they thought about KOTOR 2. I'm going to read the first one. It's from Thrak. Thrak said, I played it for 10 minutes once and thought it was cute.
It's not enough.
I love you, Thrak. You don't change. You're the best. Okay. Will thinks it's better than KOTOR 1. And can you read what Burger Champ said?
I have absolutely no idea where this thread is supposed to be.
In announcements all the way at the end.
Okay, let me see here.
Right after I mentioned everyone, Thrak comments and then Burger Champ comments.
Okay. Okay, Burger Champ said I played it like 20 years ago, but the only thing I remember about it is not liking it, but not nearly as much as the first.
Kiko's face. What's wrong, Kiko? Tell me.
I just don't understand how you cannot like this game. I think it's great, the story and everything.
I mean, but compared to the first one, you like this one more than the first one?
Yes, I do. So it's
Burger Champ did go on to say that. Oh, go ahead.
they're very different stories. So the first one, there's a war going on, and the second one, it's everybody dealing with the aftermath of the war. So it's like everyone is like either their life were stripped away because of the war, they're just dealing with post-war traumas, and the fact that you were the center in that war and you decided to strip yourself off the force. I don't know. I think it's just very interesting to me.
What does Burger Champ go on to say?
He also said, I just remember not liking the characters with a heavy focus on Jedi as much.
Burger Champ hates Jedi. He thinks the Jedi are stupid.
Yes, Jedis are stupid. Their ways are stupid. And we could see in Clone Wars that basically Ahsoka proved that they're stupid. But I think that's one of the main attractions of this game, the fact that you can turn every single, well, not every single character, but most of your party members into Jedis. You can train them and in the Force and help you out. I don't know. I think that's cool. I love
the
that
only
part
ones,
of the game.
The only ones that I got to turn into Jedi were the pilot. I don't remember his name.
I don't run. Aiden run.
Atten.
Yeah.
Atten. Yeah.
Aiden ran
Him.
or something.
Him, the Dathomir dude with the horns.
Mm-hmm.
Bowder and the blind girl and Freya.
The blind girl, Visa.
Visa's
Visa's
What?
more.
Yeah.
But she's already a Sith.
once she got into my party, like her good side was all the way up.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Full good side.
You can turn the bounty hunter into a Jedi too. Do you choose
I tried
Do you choose her or the Wookiee?
her. I
Okay.
chose her.
A Wookiee.
Yeah, there's a Wookiee, but he's so fucking unbearable. He's unpleasant.
Oh.
He's an asshole.
He
Oh.
has a life contract or death contract or whatever it's called. Whatever Chewbacca has with Han Solo, he has with this bounty hunter
So
lady.
if you a life debt, that's what it's called, a life debt. If you save a
life debt.
Wookiee from death, that Wookiee belongs to you because they are in death because you basically their life belongs to you now because you rescue them.
That's awful.
Yeah. So he hates being in the life debt. And she tells him, leave. You don't have to be here. I don't want you here. And he's like, I can't leave until I kill you, but I can't kill you because I'm in a life debt. And he's so fucking annoying about that whole thing. Like the entire time he's on screen, he's like, I don't want to be in this life debt. I want to kill you so I can go. And they're like, just fucking go. Like, who's holding you here? Like, nobody's telling you to stay here. And then, like, at the end, you have to fight him again and kill him because his life was saved by the old lady bad guy. And now she has his life debt. It's,
Life debt. Yes.
yeah, it's just,
Okay.
it's like, what the fuck, dude? It's like, I didn't care for that character at all, so I chose her. Let's see. So, other than that, I didn't get to turn anybody else into Jedi. There was the probe droid. I didn't care for the probe droid at all.
GOTO.
I did like the little R2D2 replacement character.
T3 and 4.
Yeah. I like that at the beginning of the game it gives you the option of skipping that whole first segment in the
prologue.
E1 Hawk.
Yeah.
But I just did it, and I just fell in love with the robot because he somehow fixed the whole spaceship's warp drive so that they could get to safety.
Yeah. He's actually one of
And
the
then-
best characters to disarm grenades and everything.
Right, he is, because you can disarm grenades right at the beginning of the game with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He's smart.
He's very smart. I don't know. I feel like the characters weren't as compelling as the ones from the first game. I didn't care for Atten until he tells you his dark story where he was a Jedi killer. And then he becomes a Jedi himself. I thought that was pretty cool. I never got to see the bounty hunter's story. She just didn't want to share or become friends or anything. I hated Kreia from the start. That old lady was a fucking bitch. And I wish they would have given Visa more exposure because I thought that her being from that planet of blind people who were force sensitive was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Where what's his face is from?
Who?
From Rogue One?
No.
He's just blind from natural causes.
Yeah, because this game takes
He's not from a blind planet.
this game takes place 4,000 years before Episode 1. And that planet was destroyed before the events of this game.
Oh.
So it's a very long time ago.
Oh.
Yeah.
So another thing that a reason that I liked this game a lot was the villains, the Sith Lords specifically, Darth Sion and Darth I don't know how to spell it. Nihilus. I mean, Darth Sion is literally immortal. This guy, he is living through the Force. Thanks to the Force, he's holding his body with the Force, and he cannot die.
Ugh.
He's a force zombie.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. That's awful.
He's like missing his eyelids, and like one of his eyes is like that but white.
No.
Popping out.
No. No. I'll
And-
pass.
And then when you fight him, you have to kill him like 6 times because he just won't die. And at the end, he's like, "Wait, you're not gonna stop killing me," and he just dies.
You technically
fuck?
convince him to die.
I can't.
To give out on the Force, and then he dies.
He was tired of doing it.
And
Yeah.
Darth, say it again. Nihilus.
Nihilus.
This guy doesn't have a body. He's just an entity. We don't know what's under that mask, that robe. And this guy feeds off of the force of planets. Isn't that
Oh
wild?
my gosh.
That's wild.
That's crazy.
That is pretty cool. I wish they would have done more than him, because the only thing that you see him is like at the beginning where he sends visas after you, and then you don't see him again until you fight him. But they talk about him and stuff, but you don't get to see him do all the cool shit that he's supposed to do.
Yeah.
I really was expecting more from Freya, because she's so Kreia. It's Kreia. Yeah, it's Kreia. I was expecting more from her, because she takes on the role as the mentor to your Jedi character.
It's just fucking bitch.
The Jedi character is an exile from the Jedi Order. They kicked them out, and then they decided to turn their back off on the Force. And then you meet this lady, Kreia, and she's trying to mentor you into becoming Force aligned again, because she is Sith, but she doesn't want to say she's a Sith, but she also doesn't want to say she's a Jedi. But she's clearly a Sith the entire time, because she's like, be selfish, work for yourself, don't help people, only worry about you. And those are Sith
Ideals.
Yeah.
She's obsessed with this bond you have with her. It's annoying.
Yeah. And like if you have her in your party, anything that you do that would give you light side points, you lose respect from her. So you will be like, oh, your light side points went up this much, and then Freya disliked that.
Freya sounds like a bitch.
Yeah, like a fucking old lady. And it ends up being that she's the big bad that was orchestrating the whole
Oh,
thing.
really?
Yeah. Yeah, and then you get to stab her with your lightsaber and
Take
she
her
dies.
down.
Yeah. But she also has a force bond, is it?
Yes,
With
you.
yeah. So she has a force bond where anything that happens to her or you, the other one feels. So she loses an arm and your character feels the arm being cut off.
I'm looking up a photo of her.
Of the old lady?
Yes.
Tell me
Kreia, Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, tell me what she looks like.
Hold on. Let me see.
There's an evil version of her and there's a regular version of her.
Oh.
Let me see. That's the evil version.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, where's the not evil version?
Well, it's still evil, but not as obvious.
Let me go to images.
Yep. She's in a brown cloak.
Or green cloak.
Brownish green. Yeah, that one.
Okay. Yeah. I feel like I would get bad vibes from her just looking at her.
In her regular clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I feel like the character growth. You had a bunch of. I spent, like I told you, 20 hours, and I was still like on the first world after you start, and I feel like I put in a lot of time, but I didn't learn anything like in the first game.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I can see that.
Now, the game is worth the play. It's very cool, and they talk about Revan a lot, and you get to visit some locations that you went to with Revan, like the Sith Academy.
Yes, the Sith Academy. It's one of my favorite places. I mean, as you can see, I like Siths a lot.
Yes, you do. You also go to Duxon with the Mandalorians. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Especially when the Sith invade Duxon and you have to fight the Sith off with the Mandalorians. That was very, very cool.
This is you were a light side guy, right?
Yeah.
So if you go into the dark side, you can see everybody's physique start changing, especially Bail-Dur. He started getting like marks like Darth Maul. He doesn't go full red, but you can see like black and red through his markings in his face.
That's really
It's
cool.
really cool, yeah.
See, I might have to do an evil playthrough of both games at some point, and I think I'm definitely gonna go full evil. It's just so hard being like, I need help, and I'm like, die. I can't.
It's pretty easy, actually.
But what will their family think? They will miss them.
They'll never find out.
Who gives a shit?
It's like It's like I went to that planet and that family was like, "We need a starport so we can get out." And I'm like, "Cool, I'll get you a starport." And then the other lady's like, "I'll give you a Jedi crystal for your starport." I'm like, "You can have the starport."
Absolutely.
And then the other guy, and I'm like, "Okay, I can get one more. I'm gonna give it to that lady." And some dude is like, "I'm here on a mission from the Republic." I'm like, "Fuck, I gotta help you out." This game. So, tell me, Kiko, favorite moments. What were some of your favorite moments in the game?
Let's see. When I visit, was it Korriban, the Sith planet?
Mm-hmm.
I love that the whole story in that planet. I love that there's a lot of Sith lore talking about Sith from the past and how their powers worked. That was definitely one of my favorite places. Um, let's see. What is the Citadel? What's that planet called?
I know it. The first planet that you go to.
For some
I
reason, I
forgot
really
the name
like
of it.
that place. I don't know why. Like, there's not a lot going on.
It No, it's pretty cool because you get to see like there's some parts where you have like windows and you get to see like how big it actually is, and sometimes when you're flying in, you get to see like how giant that place is because it's not even a planet; it's like a space station on top of a planet, and it's just hovering over the planet that that they're terraforming.
Wait, I'm actually talking about where you do the pod racings.
The
I think that's where you meet the Wookiee and the
right,
Mira.
Narshada,
Narshada. Yes, I like that place.
Narshada, Narshada is pretty cool.
But
I,
for
I didn't do any of the pod
moments,
racing.
specific moments, I can't recall. It's been a really long time since I played that game.
I finished it 2 weeks ago and I don't remember a lot of it.
I remember seeing the really, really terrible animation
I like the characters
because
that,
it's
yeah.
ancient.
that
And that
move
Mon
in-
Calamari who was like a sheet of paper.
the what?
The the Mon Calamari people. And you could see it from the side, and his head was like a sheet of paper. It was so thin.
The Ithorian.
Because whatever, yeah. Whatever. They had no. It was not 3-dimensional. It wasn't even 2-dimensional. It was just.
A head.
Yeah. Well, no, but it was a flathead. Like.
Yeah. She's talking about the Ithorians at the beginning. That they're
I just happened to walk around the corner and saw the TV. I was like, wow, it's just a line for his silhouette. That's all it is. It's really old.
it is pretty old. It did look pretty bad.
It looked terrible. It looked worse than that Animorphs game I used to play on Dakota's PS2.
Now I feel like the pacing was off a lot on the game. Like I didn't get the lightsaber till I had to break into that bar with the toxic gas in it.
What?
Yeah.
I think that's almost the like pretty much far end game, almost end game kind
It's
of thing.
it's like midway, like a little bit over, past midway.
Which was the first planet you visited?
Narshada.
You go to Dantooine first. You go to Dantooine first. You do Dantooine, and then Dantooine allows you like whatever you do in that planet allows you to have the lightsaber a little sooner.
Dantooine is the one with the Jedi Academy, the broken Jedi Academy.
Yes.
Right. That was a very good planet. I
Yeah.
really like that one. Especially when you have to go into the broken down Jedi Academy and go all the way into like the inside and kill all those bugs
Yeah.
and save like the grave robbers and shit.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. I
That's
really
fun.
like that. And then you have to fight off like some attackers that are coming to attack the place.
Probably Mandalorians. Mercenaries.
Was it mercenaries? Yes, the mercenaries. That was pretty great. I really, really like that planet a lot. I think that's when the game started feeling like the first KOTOR for me, and I was like, okay, I'm in. But then again, that was like almost 30 hours in. Karradyne,
Yes.
what do you think of KOTOR 2?
I think that it is a wonderful game with terrible graphics.
Why do you think it's a wonderful game?
I have no idea.
Is it because I talked about the first one so highly?
Yeah.
That's it?
And it has a fancy title.
What's the
Knights
title?
of the Old Republic.
You know what this episode's called?
Knights of the Old Republic 2.
Close.
What?
You're missing a word.
What?
Knights of the Old Kiko Republic.
Oh my god, that's... No, we need to rethink that title. We can work Kiko in somewhere else.
No, the
That's
title's
not
fine.
great.
It's great. It's great.
It can be revisited.
So, let me see here what we have. So, Karradyne, you play as a Jedi exile. They've been cut off from the Force. They're gonna kill the Sith Lords. They don't want to be a Jedi at all. Like, people are like, "Oh, Jedi," and like your first option is, "I'm not a Jedi." You go to a couple of planets. You go to Duxon. You go to Nar Shaddaa, Malachor 5, the Paragus mining facility. That was cool. They blow up a whole mining facility to keep the Sith Lords from chasing them at the beginning of the game.
Damn.
That was pretty cool. Let me see. Dantooine, Korriban, and that's pretty much it. There's a couple of characters in the game. Returning is your favorite, HK-47? Meatbags?
Meatbags, yes. HK-47.
Why do you like that character so much?
I think it's the way he expressed himself about humans is hilarious. They don't call humans, they call them meatbag, which makes sense because he's a robot. He has no meat. I don't know. I think it's really funny.
So it's this assassin droid called HK-47, and he has a very large disdain for humans. He calls all the humans meatbags, like Kiko said, and he calls you master, but he hates calling you master, and he calls you master sarcastically, but you wouldn't know because he's kind of monotone, and he announces the inflection he's using before he talks.
Oh.
So if he's aggravated, he'll say aggravated reply and then say whatever he's saying, or like sarcastic reply and would say whatever he wants to say.
Oh my gosh, I can't.
It's kind of funny.
Bless
but
him.
yeah, it's good. They brought him back from the first game. He was in the first game, and he is fucking evil. Like, he will eager you on to murder. And
Egg you on.
yes,
Yeah.
and he gets so happy whenever you talk about killing or having humans killed,
This
or
guy is demonic, Lord.
children being killed.
Oh, God.
Loves it so much. It's so funny.
That's awful.
It's a droid. Droids don't care.
I would argue that many of the droids we know do care.
Like
C-3PO and R2-D2. IG-11.
So you remember Alan Tudyk in Rogue One, his droid?
Yeah.
Kind of like that, but eviler.
He was great.
He was very mean.
He was wonderful.
He was incredibly mean.
Well, Cassian Andor needs somebody to be mean to him.
Karradyne
he's a
hates
bitch.
Cassian.
Why do you
can't stand
hate
him.
Cassian so much?
I can't. I
You,
can't with him.
you've seen Rogue One, right?
Yeah.
So it is. I for me it's like okay that he's the way he is in the series because he's becoming that rebel in Rogue One.
He's a bitch. He's so fucking annoying. He's so annoying. I can't stand him.
See, we're going to what, episode 9 now? Yeah.
Let's see. Basically, he just convinced Andy Serkis to tell him how many guards are on each level of the prison. So we're close to the end.
After
Yes.
the old man dies.
Yeah. All right.
We're gonna start episode 10 next. Yeah.
I think it's
So
a great
he-
series.
I finally got into it because Andy Serkis is there.
I like Andor so far. I've been liking it, but every time that we watch something together and you're kind of like not into it and I feel bad.
Why?
Because you're not having fun and I am.
But I normally
then
wind up getting into it.
I want to
normally, not all the time.
I want to enjoy whatever I'm watching with you, but you're not into it. So
I'm getting into it.
you hated it at the beginning.
I did. I was so fucking bored. Like I'm watching an angsty teenage boy, basically. Ugh.
But that's not this week's episode. That's next week's episode, or some point. Kiko, this game got ratings from Game Rankings, Metacritic, OneUp.com, Computer Gaming World, Eurogamer, GamePro, GameSpot, pretty much everywhere. And they all rated it between 85, 8 and 100.
Damn.
And 10. 8 and 10.
That's pretty good.
I think this game is... Let me find my notes. Because, like I said, I finished this a few weeks ago. KOTOR 2 is an 8 out of 10. The reasons are because the game crashed a bunch of times. Like, I was playing the game and it would crash.
But that's not the game's fault. It's the Switch's fault.
It's not very well optimized if it crashes on me.
Well, that's not the game's fault. It's the developer's fault.
So,
He is a stark defender of this game.
You know how many times that game crashed in Xbox?
how many?
0.
I don't have an Xbox, like an original Xbox. So I didn't like a couple of things. I did have this big problem where the characters would go into conversations and it would skip all of the lines from the other character and go into my choice. And the only way to fix that would be to turn the game off entirely, turn off the console, and then start all over again. So that fight with Darth Sion, I wasn't able to do... I wasn't able to hear anything that he would say because it would just go into my dialogue. And then I went to Krea's fight, and it would do the same, and I'm like, what the fuck? So I had to turn it all off and start all over again.
That sucks.
I didn't like that after the fight with Krea, the game just ends. Like, she tells you, oh, your friends are going to do this and this and this, and that's it. And the game ends. Yeah, and it's a good game, but...
The ending was very rushed, but there were circumstances where Lucasfilm asked them to... So basically what happened is the game was developing at a good pace, and Lucasfilm agreed to extend the deadline, but then the Obsidian boss or whoever was managing the production of the game did not have that in writing. So Lucasfilm said, like, no, we never said we were going to extend the deadline. You still have the old deadline. So that's why they started chopping off content so they could meet that deadline. And I think that's why the ending feels so rushed. Because I agree, the ending is like super fast. Like, you just go to Malachor, kill a bunch of people, kill Darth Raya, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, that... And like the thing, like the mission before Malachor, where it's you're sneaking onto Darth Nihilus's ship and you're fighting your way through the ship all the way to Darth Nihilus, that was fucking great. That was so much fun. And then I thought the ending would be kind of more of the same, like in the first game, but then it's just you by yourself. And like once you get, because they even hawk crashes onto the planet, Karradyne, and
that's the moment you know
your character
you're fucked up.
Yeah. And then it's just your character walking into the planet to fight Kreia.
To fart?
Fart Kreia, yeah, to fart on her.
Okay.
Right? That's how you beat her. You fart on her.
Okay. It's a good way to die.
Yep, getting
There are
farted
worse
on.
ways.
Yeah, there is. Like being licked to death by your dog.
Yep.
So you're on your way there, and like they don't do anything with your party. Like they follow like one character that has beef with another character, which is Mira and the Wookiee, and that's it. Like nobody else gets any other story. None of your characters help you out. It's just a lone mission all the way in, and it lasts for like an hour and a half too. So it's like a long mission where you're by yourself. And I don't know, I wanted more from that. Like, it's the big ending of the game. Like, make it, like, awesome.
No, I agree. It felt underwhelming, for sure.
Very underwhelming.
But if you're gonna
like,
do,
I actually,
if you're gonna do a rerun and do the dark side, choose a male character so you can get the handmaiden, because she has a pretty good lore, like story, and her boss, she used to be one of the Jedis that wanted to exile you, and she wanted to execute you instead of having you just exile. And she's bitter about it. And I don't know if you fight her uh, in the game when you're.
I think I did, but like it was like a fight, and then she's like, "You're being a Sith," and she's like, "Oh right, I'm being a Sith," and she goes back to being a regular Jedi.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I think it's pretty fun. Like the Handmaiden story is pretty good too, and kind of have like kind of a relationship between you two. You know, like fall in love or something.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
Okay. So there were a couple of characters that came back from the first game. HK-47. What the pilot dude from the first game. What was his name?
Karth Onassis. Karth.
Karth Onassis. Yeah, him. And I think that's about it from the first game, right?
Isn't 2, 3, and 4 from the first game too?
The little droid.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, he's
He
from the
is,
first
right?
game. Yeah, he is. Because he has his mind wiped. Because he apparently is the only one that knows where Darth Revan went after the first game. So what score would you give this game?
A 9 out of 10.
A 9 out of 10?
Yeah.
Why is it short 1 point from being a 10?
So I never get 10s.
So a 9 is the new 10.
I can't.
No, I mean it's not perfect. Like you just can give it 10. It's not a perfect game. I love it, but it's not perfect. For sure.
I wanted more. I didn't want it to be better than the first one. I want it to be on the same level as the first one, but you know. I mean, if you like it more than the first one, then I guess I played the wrong gender and wrong
Nah. I mean
side of the force.
the experience is more or less the same. I never played with a female character. That game specifically. So I don't know if there's so much of a difference.
I mean, just the one difference in characters, because the apprentice,
He kind of sucks.
he
He's boring.
yeah, he does. He's kind of. It's like if you put Sheldon Cooper but obsessed with Jedi in the game.
Don't hate on Sheldon.
I'm not hating on Sheldon. I'm just saying that
No.
if you had somebody as smart as Sheldon but obsessed with Jedi, that's the character. Why are you making that
If you
face?
say so.
So, well, Kiko, do you want a remake of this game, or would you just be happy with the first one getting remade?
No, I won the remake. I'm super excited that they announced they're remaking it. I'm all for it, for sure.
I can't wait to see if they make this remake or not, because I am going to play that shit all over again. And this time I'm going dark side.
I'm gonna be honest though. I would like them to change the battle system a little.
You don't like the D20 dice rolls?
More or less. I don't know. It's just for nowadays, like for how games have evolved today. I don't think that's gonna be a good fit.
I don't know how to feel about that, because I kind of agree, but I also disagree because what's it called? Final Fantasy VII Remake changed the entire combat system. Right now, it's an action game, and it works. It's great, but then you have these retro HD games like Octopath Traveler and Live Alive coming out that have the same old RPG turn-based combat that's awesome and it works well even though it's an old concept. But then you have games like Final Fantasy 16 and 15 that ditch the entire turn-based thing for a more action-heavy gameplay style. And they work. But I don't know of any other game having a D20 dice roll system for their combat. And I think it's great, but I feel like there's also a lot of wasted time just waiting for the fight to be over.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see. So, Knights of the Old Republic gets an 8 from me, a 9 from Kiko. Karradyne, what do you rate this game?
2.5.
Why do you give it a 2.5?
Because I can.
Why?
No, obviously I have no rating. I did not play this game.
So do
I
Knights...
will rate our discussion as a 7.5.
Okay, so what do you find the Old Republic interesting at all? This is the high time of the Republic where they're in full swing. Everybody wants to take them down and be the owner of the Republic, like the Mandalorians who started a war just so they could see who was stronger than them.
I mean, if it were a movie, I'd probably watch it.
You probably watch. So if they made a Revan movie, you would watch it?
I guess.
I would love a Revan movie.
Me too.
It'd be so good.
I've been craving a Revan movie or series for the longest time, honestly. I think he's a very interesting character, especially because he dwells between sides. I don't know. I think it's amazing. Honestly, it's one of my favorite Sith Lords for sure, or Jedi's, whichever you like. I like that Revan more than I like Jedi Knight Revan. Looks cooler.
I mean, he does look pretty cool. But I just want it to be Keanu Reeves, and maybe they should do it where, like, the episodes are half flashback and half current story, and just go through the first game. Okay. But you also see Revan's descent into becoming
Madness. Darth
Revan.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
so
there's a series coming up called Star Wars Acolyte, and it's thousands of years before the movies. And I think at the beginning that was intentionally gonna be not the Knights of the Republic storyline or something. I don't think it is anymore. But here's hoping.
Interesting. So
I might be wrong though.
You don't know anything about Revan other than he's the main character of KOTOR 1, and he used to be a Jedi who turned a Sith. So the Mandalorians attacked the Republic. The Republic asks the Jedi Order for help, and the Jedi Order is like, let's think about it. And they're thinking about it for a very long time. And Revan is like, let's stop thinking and go help these people. So him and Malik take a bunch of Jedi and go off to war. They win the war
Against the Mandalorians.
And save the Republic, but they somehow fall into the dark side. So they become Sith Lords. And they're like, the Jedi are useless. Let's go kill the Jedi. And they go kill the Jedi. Malik betrays Revan, blows him up. Revan survives, loses his memory. And then U.S. Revan have to go kill Malik.
Okay.
Yeah, so
that's a lot.
It's a lot. They explained that to you over 2 games, and it's still...
a lot.
Yeah, but it's interesting. Because they give you more backstory about why Revan did it, and his whole motivation with Malik, and Malik feeling bad about taking all of these kids to war. Because they're kids. You know, they're Padawans, they're younglings. Yeah, it's good stuff.
Okay, I'll take your word for it.
You don't care about it, do you?
Nope. Not right now. It's just a video game.
Yeah, it is just a video game. So, all right. Well, that's it for Knights of the Old Republic 2. I really, really wish that this game would have hit harder like the first one did. So I would have, like, learned more, because a lot of the time I was just pressing buttons to get through conversations, because some of these characters were so fucking boring. Like that one lady that wants to sell her clothes in the shop, but there's a guy across the street who has a shop that sells clothes, and your mission is to convince one of them to leave, and whichever one you convince to leave is the wrong choice.
What the hell?
It's like,
why is that even a thing?
I don't know. There was a lot of characters that I didn't care for, but you know, it was still more of the same. It was a fine game. Yeah, Kiko, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, no. We should talk more about Jedi Survivor when you finish it.
Absolutely.
All right. So, Karradyne, do you want to say goodbye to everyone?
Goodbye, everyone.
You want to say goodbye to everyone, Kiko?
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone.